If your mind feels always on, you're not broken. Many people's brains overthink when uncertainty rises. It's a protective system. Right now, the every mind can simply notice one slow breathing cycle. Curiosity, not combat, will guide this calm explanation. Here's a common everyday sign. You replay a text, check tone, and feel a tug to read gestures again for certainty. The brain isn't scolding. It's trying to predict how minds respond under uncertainty, not to overthink. The every mind wants reassurance. One explanation. The brain predicts to cut uncertainty. Your mind runs simulations like calendar what-ifs, hoping to control outcomes. Helpful until it overheats. When prediction keeps looping, the every mind can name it overthink and set a softer stop for night. Rumination means the problem-solving loop runs without new input, especially at night. The brain repeats lines to feel safer under uncertainty. The every mind isn't failing. It's a misfired attempt at certainty. Overthink softens when we add kindness and a tiny pause. In groups, caring runs deeply, so your brain scans social details to avoid risk. It's protection, not paranoia. Warm cues from kind friend and open face, steady tone tell the every mind enough. Good enough meaning beats endless uncertainty checks. For many people, uncertainty turns the brain toward worry. This doesn't diagnosing anything. We connect patterns to how minds manage risk. Notice shoulders drop as the every mind breathe out. For many brains, a tiny grounding shift next can lower overthink without judgment. Try a tiny, doable reset. Place attention on your feet, barefoot if possible, and extend the exhale. The every mind's brain settles uncertainty. For many minds that overthink, a gentle, longer breath shifts arousal. Eyes soften, and the every mind notices space before the next thought. Cautiously, here's the why. Attending to body cues can shift attention. The every mind's brain calms as breath slows under ordinary support. With quiet support beside them, both share calm. Warm routine signals safety to a vigilant mind that overthink when uncertainty feels high. Tiny options pile up. Cognitive load grows. The every mind's brain tries to predict every choice and route to shrink uncertainty. Set a good enough bar. Pick any workable option, then move. That trims overthink loops before drafts and messages start stacking. When you keep drafting, your brain chases certainty of response. The every mind edits again, hoping to control uncertainty before sending. Try one clear, kind send. Kind friend's warm reply appears, and the mind releases drafts instead of feeding another overthink loop. On commute blur, planning helps until it tips into simulation. The every mind previews conversations. Then attention returns to breath and feet. Differentiate useful prep from worry loops. Choose a soft stop, like one route decision, then pause. That protects a brain from overthink. Back in the bedroom, make a 30-second evening reset. Dim light, warm mug, feel the floor, lengthen exhalation. The every mind's mind unwinds. Quiet support sets a blanket and leaves space. This small ritual tells the brain, even with uncertainty, it can ease before rest. When the every mind feels uncertainty, the brain sorts loops. Past replay, future what-ifs, and decision stall, each needing a tiny exit. Name it and match exit. One careful replay pass, two what-ifs, then stop. Good enough choice. Clarity next comes from asking kindly. A clarifying question cuts ambiguity. The every mind stops the certainty chase by asking kind friend once, instead of replaying imagined answers. When a plain answer arrives, the mind eases. The brain shifts from overthink to action, ready for one tiny next step. Back at the desk, the every mind picks one values-based step. Analysis narrows, uncertainty shrinks, and momentum begins with 60 focused seconds. Small action teaches the brain safety faster than circling thoughts. The mind learns good enough beats perfect and moves to the next. A gentle boundary helps at night. Phone away, lamp warm, blanket ready. The every mind's brain downshifts instead of fueling uncertainty. With quiet support nearby, the mind rests easier. 10 quiet minutes protect sleep and reduce overthink spirals before tomorrow. When ideas arrive, the every mind parks one thought on a card, sets later time, then returns to breath and presents sensations. This preserves creativity without spiraling. The brain gets closure, the mind experiences space, and uncertainty stops steering the afternoon. Loops return sometimes. The every mind notices worry, softens the jaw, feels both feet, and lengthens exhale. Kindness steadies a vigilant brain. Treat it as normal. Reuse the brief reset and continue. The mind learns resilience without fighting uncertainty or overthink. Perfection stall starts. The every mind sees a blank desk document, hesitates, and the brain overthink cycle swells under uncertainty. With kind friends encouraging presence, the every mind starts a messy first line and sets a 2-minute time box to move. Body doubling helps people who avoid starts. Both sit side by side, and the every mind's attention anchors instead of overthink under uncertainty. With quiet support beside them, a warm tea ritual and brief timer keep the brain engaged. Small work sprints feel doable. Apply the good enough rule. One thoughtful read, breathe out, then send. The every mind frees attention for the next step. When the draft leaves the desk, the brain stops rehearsing outcomes. The mind moves forward instead of looping uncertainty. When the clock gets loud, shrink scope. Channel urgency into one small action while breath paces the countdown for the every mind. Short-timed bursts teach the brain progress under uncertainty. The mind stays calm enough to finish the smallest useful piece. Treat feedback as information, not a verdict. Kind Friend's balanced gesture offers one actionable change the every mind can choose next. This reframes the brain's overthink. The mind updates the plan and moves, instead of replaying every comment under uncertainty. Before evening, close the loop. The every mind resets with feet and longer exhale to address carryover thoughts from work. This 30-second ritual tells the brain uncertainty can wait. The mind leaves the desk and actually closes the day. Endless novelty keeps your brain predicting. The every mind feels alert, phone near, and the mind overthink grows fast with uncertainty. Set one screen as a stop. Place the phone down, then breathe. Prediction cools and uncertainty shrinks to a manageable size. Create an exit. Save interesting links with a bookmark icon, then batch check later. The every mind's brain gains closure, attention returns. With quiet support, quiet non-urgent pings. A warm tea ritual and simple list keep the mind from overthink chasing uncertainty. Comparison grows when feeds show slices. The every mind keeps checking others. Context is thin, so uncertainty pushes the brain to compare. Kind Friend widens the frame. One kind action beats endless checking. Send something genuine, then rejoin the bench and the sky. Algorithm drift reshuffles feeds. Prediction reignites. The every mind notices the pull and locks the screen to interrupt checking. Then look at moving clouds, feel feet, breathe slower. The brain updates. Uncertainty can pass without more checks. Together both place phones face down. Arousal drops. A quiet room and tea create a short window without scroll pressure. With quiet support beside the every mind, this tiny ritual says, even tonight, rest matters more than prediction now. Remember the exits. One screen stop, save for later, lock screen cue. The every mind sets the phone aside and stands barefoot to exhale. This bridges to social replays next. Feet, breath, and a small smile tell the brain uncertainty can quiet. After a conversation, the every mind replays a tiny social beat. One careful scan for cooling clues prevents the brain's overthink under uncertainty. Then pause. The every mind labels no new info, lets the mind rest and gazes forward, ready to kindly check if needed. Clarity beats guessing. The every mind asks one kind check in the group, reducing uncertainty that keeps the brain's overthink replaying imaginary answers. Kind Friend's clarifying reply lets the mind settle. Tension drops, and a small next step appears without overthink chasing certainty. With quiet support nearby, the every mind places a hand on chest. A gentle self-compassion line eases self-criticism and regulates attention under uncertainty. Warm tea, slower breath, softer posture. Body cues remind the brain that the mind can rest without replaying every beat. Set a brief review. The every mind allows uncertainty, glances once at the clock, exhales, and chooses a good enough working story. When the time ends, look at drifting drops. The brain releases control, and the mind returns to the present moment. Back with the group, the every mind offers a brief repair. One sentence better than guesses. Uncertainty eases and the mind relaxes. Kind Friend's easy smile and open shoulders close the loop together. The brain stops replaying and attention returns to connection. In the bedroom, the every mind lies back and lengthens the exhale. Feet grounded, images blur at the edges and gently fade. This grounding tells the brain the day is complete. The mind can rest under uncertainty, trusting tomorrow's small moves. Apply a simple decision check. At the desk, the every mind scans the calendar and energy, because brain prediction amplifies overthink under uncertainty. Choose yes, no, or maybe confirm by a time. The mind commits lightly, reducing spirals and preserving motivation for tomorrow. Preview tonight's plan with quiet support in the kitchen. A calm commitment now, confirm later, keeps the brain from overthink under uncertainty. Set a check-in time. If energy dips, decline kindly. The every mind relaxes shoulders as the mind holds plans more lightly. On the bench, the every mind lists 2 what-ifs on a card. Budget simulations to avoid cascading scenarios that fuel overthink. Pick one simple fallback, then return to senses. The mind tells the brain uncertainty remains, yet attention can shift calmly. In the group, the every mind offers a values-based decline, a gentle no with thanks and an alternate time, reducing guilt and uncertainty. Kind affirms the brain stops forecasting backlash. The mind feels steadier, free from overthink spirals about explanations. City commute lights slide by. Arrival queue ready, exit pre-decided. The every mind plans to arrive, breathe, enjoy a slice, then leave. Pre-decisions reduce anticipatory worry. The brain relaxes. The mind shows up lightly without feeding overthink and uncertainty tonight. At the kitchen table, create a simple week. Rest anchors, one social slot, one focus block. The every mind maps energy honestly. Light structure lowers decision load. The brain predicts less. The mind prevents last-minute overthink when uncertainty rises midweek. Many people vary in temperament and habits. The every mind uses a cautious lens so the brain stops labeling overthink as flaw. Link style to practice. Notice patterns. Choose fitting tools. Reduce uncertainty pressure. The mind feels calmer and more workable. Find your window. The every mind traces a comfortable range. Breathe slower. Tiny exposure plus reset keeps balance under uncertainty today. When edges sharpen, step out briefly. Feel feet breathe, then re-enter calmly. The brain learns overthink isn't required this time. Borrow calm. Kind friends' clear cues meet the every mind's glance. Ambiguity falls as they agree on one micro next step. With support, the brain stops predicting every outcome. The mind moves gently now, following the shared plan without overthink today. Roots and choice together. The every mind notices patterns with quiet support, uses cautious language, and chooses one tiny daily habit for agency. Circle the habit on paper, then protect it. Small consistency retrains the brain. The mind trusts change without forcing thoughts. Tonight's one thing. The every mind feels feet on the ground, lengthens the exhale, invites warmth back into a quiet bedroom gently. Let the mind rest 10 seconds. The brain remembers uncertainty can wait. Share if this grounding helped, then sleep well.